All right, so let's dive into the next topic. Sofia Vergara revealed in a recent interview that she said no to having kids with ex Joe Manganiello because she didn't want to be an old mom, and that ultimately it led to their divorce. Oof. So, guys, what do you make of her honesty?
I can relate to this. I also had the same thing rolling through my head in my 30s. I didn't want to be an old mom either. You try so long not to get pregnant, and then when I didn't know, and we didn't know, my husband Drew and I, if it was going to happen. So it did happen. We have 3 kids. I had all 3 kids in my 30s. And my headspace was that it was twofold. One, I wanted to see my kids grow up. And I wanted to be with them as long as possible. So I wanted to have kids younger. I wanted to see them when they're like 50, 60, maybe plus years old, depending on how I live. And the thing is, I wanted me time, but I didn't want me time in my 30s. I want me time in my 50s or 60s when I have some money. Yeah. And I want me time a little later on. And I know that's not for everybody. Other people need to and want to establish career and get all that stuff ahead of time. But I'm the reverse. I want to be older and have more money then than I do in my 30s.
And have your kids
you know
grown.
how quickly it goes when you have kids.
It's just out the window. It flies out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
I love exactly the same sentiment, but we were actually working together when I think all of us were trying to get pregnant. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm having trouble getting pregnant. And so I think here's the challenge. Is society says, ladies, get your education, find the right partner if that's your thing, and if you want to try to have kids, have kids. By the time that happens, you might be in your mid to late 30s. And guess what? Biology says we're starting to shut things down. And so I was one of those women, which is pretty typical. We're getting married later, we're having kids later, and then you realize you might not be able to have kids. So if I could go back, I don't want to be an old mom, but not because I don't want to be an old mom, because now I've got wisdom, I've got more money. But my biology says I should have started earlier than I did. And so I'm gonna have the chat with my daughter when she's 18, 21, 23. If you want to freeze your eggs, because I want you to have a long, full life, guess what? That will be my gift to you.
That's a big
so that your biology doesn't rob you of the career or whatever life you want to live.
And that gives her the choice too, right?
And I'm actually in that situation right now. I only got married about less than 2.5 years ago, and my husband and I were already talking about freezing eggs and looking way in the future, because career-wise, I'm now starting my career. He's now starting his career. And also the thing about bringing a child into this world is you're responsible. You have to make sure that they're living and they're succeeding and financially at this age that I'm at right now.
How old? Can you share your age?
Yes, I'm 28.
Oh, a baby.
I'm a little baby. But at this point, I don't know if I can financially take care of a child. So I'm thinking I might be an old mom, but there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be at a stage of my life where I know I can provide and support my kids in the best way. But it's so interesting how this conversation is being more normalized.
Well, as a childless woman, let me impart my wisdom. I know, it's like, who wants to hear from me? But honestly, I'm going to champion for the old moms. I'm thinking about myself. When I was in my 20s, I was insecure, broke, self-centered, and I had a whole list of things that I wanted to get done. And I know for sure, because I know myself, if I had a kid, that kid would have suffered, or it would have been at my parents' house 24/7. And I think there's something to be said for the wisdom and the patience and the financial stability you have as an older mom. And as you guys mentioned, sometimes you don't get to choose. You don't know when you're going to meet the love of your life or the person you want to start your family with. But I would much rather be a mom to a child now, when I know I worked out all my issues.
No, I'm just kidding.
You see me? I'm like, borrow one of mine for a day, right? But I know that this version of me would be, I worked up my issues, I've gone to therapy, I have some savings, all of those things, because I would want to bring my kid into a world where I could give them whatever they needed. And my 20s, really, I didn't have any of that stuff. So that's why I'm going to, I understand where Sophia's coming from, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of wisdom that you can give your children when you're an older parent.
Can we talk about one more thing? And the other thing is, it's like to each his own. And that's the other point of this. Like,
kids are hard and expensive.
You
whatever you want to do.
You and whatever works for your life.
Right? That's right. That's right. Okay.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.